today I have best settings for Rocket League. I'm going over everything listed. Okay, and then after I'll just play a few ranked games to show you why they're the best, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, first up, you know, gameplay wise, I'm in text chat, voice chat, you know what I'm saying? You wanna talk to people?
This is an updated settings guide for Rocket League, and then cross-platform play. Decide whether or not you're going to be playing with people on other platforms. So for me, if I had this unchecked, this means I'm only going to play with other PC players because I'm on PC. But I like this short a few times, and it doesn't really matter to me, so I'm just going to have cross-platform play on, so I'm going to play with everybody. For all the server stuff, I just have it on high. The first three have never really changed. The input buffer I did used to have on default. I think it was Legacy back when before an update happened. But ever since I swapped to CSCS, it's been a lot smoother for me, and I kind of recommend CSCS for everybody unless you have, you know, other issues, and it's going to be a case-by-case basis. But for the most part, CSCS is going to be the best bet. I have both competitive divisions and extra mode ranks checked on. If you're the type of player who gets really psyched out by rank or only really cares about rank and it can maybe hinder your performance, I could say maybe you want to turn this off so that you're not really going to worry, you're not going to see when you lose a division or something like that. Other than that, I mean, I like to just have it on, and most people I think just don't really touch these. And then for game stat display level, I have it on main stats only. I think a lot of people this base tournaments, then you should be able to because you swap these. There's going to be a cap on that, so you're not going to be able to do that. The next thing is the camera settings, which I by far get asked the most. What are your camera settings? These are the cameras. Just keep in mind, I constantly change these. Literally every single video I've played in, they've probably been some sort of variation of these camera settings. So I'm just going to give you a good range and some general guides for that. Camera shake, I'm always going to say turn it off. I always tell everyone just turn camera shake off because it's going to get in the way when you're trying to dribble the ball, and the shaking camera screen just isn't really the best. Pretty much no pro uses it, I think, other than Cooks here, which I don't even know if he still uses it. Camera shake off, always going to recommend that. For the rest of these, actually, I always recommend going into free play. I say this because then you can actually see them change and see them get implemented when you change them around and try to mess with them. So get into free play, go into settings, and then the good general guide for these is going to be 108 to 110 FOV. Most people use 110. I'd stick with 110. For distance, anywhere from 250 to maybe 280, 270 is very common. Right now I'm with 250. You could have a 90 to 110 height. I'm at 110. With a -3 to -5 angle. These are going to really be dependent on each other, so as long as you stay within these ranges, it's kind of the most important. And then for stiffness, I'm at 0.4 stiffness, swivel speed at 5, and transition speed at 1.2. So these are a little bit more advanced, and all they're going to be is how your camera moves around. These are the ones you're really going to want to mess around with a little bit and see what you like. So I know with transition speed, some people like to have a really, really fast transition speed. For me, I'm at 1.2. It feels like a good speed when it swaps between ball cam and no ball cam. But some people like to literally have this at instant, so it just instantly swaps. I like to kind of see the play. The scoreboard swap to R1. 1.2. Next thing is controls. This is going to be a really, really big preference. I know all of it's kind of preference, but for my bindings, I have all default controls except I have arrow left binded to L1 and then scoreboard swapped to R1. Obviously, if you're an Xbox or keyboard, it's going to be a little bit different, but that's what I have. And then all of your sensitivity options, but for my bindings, I have all default controls except I have arrow left. it to L1, and then scoreboard swapped to R1. Obviously, if you're an Xbox or keyboard, it's going to be a little bit different, but that's what I have. And then all of your sensitivity options are going to depend a lot on your inputs and how you move. And scoreboard swapped to R. Next thing is going to be controls. This is going to be a really, really big preference. I know all of it's kind of preference, but for my bindings, I have all default controls. Except I have arrow left, and it's to L1. And then scoreboard swapped to R1. Obviously, if you're an Xbox or keyboard, it's going to be a little bit different, but that's what I have. And then all of your sensitivity options are going to depend a lot on your inputs and how you move. So steering sensitivity is obviously going to affect your... sensitivity when you're steering. Aerial sensitivity is going to affect your sensitivity during aerials. I know players like AJ and Astral tend to have this really, really high, but for these I have 1.3 and 1.5. Your controller dead zone is going to be how far your stick must move to the center to affect steering and air control. And dodge dead zone is going to be how far, but changing these around is pretty good, even on a day by day. This is something that'll, I guess, my keyboard and mouse, if you're going to decide obviously how big your menu settings are, display settings, stuff like that. And then the nameplate scales are going to be the actual nameplates you see.
I795.
In game, if you never really notice where players are in the field, or you want a little bit of help, maybe you're gonna want these a little bit bigger. I have them at 100. I honestly don't think I really changed them. I know players like Squishy have them pretty big, so once again, it's really up to you. I have default nameplates, so just like I said, I didn't really touch them, but you can mess around with these and see what you like. Match notifications, I have kickoffs only. used to have all, but I found that they really got in the way. Just keep in mind, if you swap to kickoffs only, it's not going to give you those 30 seconds to keep the ball up. I choose to have off. It kind of depends. I know some people still like to use this anyways. It's just kind of slightly changed during gameplay, so if somebody invites you, obviously it'll be the default. So if you want to, my ball cam isn't really in the way, but it's going to show you when you're out of ball cam what settings. You're probably going to want these default, whatever resolution that's normally at is the resolution you're going to want it to be in. Obviously, display mode, I say full screen is you get all these on. If you want to see them in action, be sure to check out this video where I tried to reach Supersonic Legend without getting scored on one time. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
La 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 la. Monday night, New York City, heard it going down. Friday night, midnight, Atlantic City.
Bad Boy and Bad Boy Gabalt, the new fragrance, Carolina Herrera.
Hey! Turn it up, crank it up, feel it all around. Feel the power of the music, feel the power of the sound. Lots of great vibration, full of color, filled with motion in the middle. Back away from body, feel like the ocean. Now waking like my heart, just like the rhythm in the stream. My body moving from my head to my feet. Just feel me.
What the? Every day some leg and the software stuff. Hello, baby. What the? Touch him. Every day someone like a person. Go for here, no there.
I unveiled the world's first freestyling rocket bomb. In that video, Stallion used his abilities to both record and repeat player inputs in a game of horse versus the pro player Reynolds. Today, Stallion is back to take on perhaps an even harder challenge, professional freestyler Pulse Fire. But Fire doesn't know he's going to be playing a bomb. In an effort to hide his identity, we've given Stallion a new look, name, and backstory. I told Fire he'd be playing horse against a mystery freestyler, and the goal of the video was to guess who it was. To help self-premise, I muted Mr. Redacted join us in voice chat, and also told Fire we were using a special hosted server to help hide the player's account and region. It wasn't the perfect deception, but I had a lot of fun with this one, and I think you're gonna enjoy it too. Okay, so Pulse Fire, you have a mystery freestyler you're playing against today. Yeah, Mr. Redacted is in voice with us. He's not gonna say anything. We have a list of shots that he's going to do, but I think he might update that depending on what you do. We're gonna play horse, and I'm gonna let Mr. Redacted go first.
Alright, Mr. Redacted, go ahead. There's so many freestylers on Earth, though. I don't know, like, okay, this is gonna be odd. What am I watching?
So our first shot, it's going to be a musty flick, and you gotta jump before half.
That ball is moving weird. What? Okay, hold on. Look at the ball to car contact over here.
The ball to car contact?
What? Okay. Let's just play some horse. No, I don't know if this is a person. I gotta go. Can I go to the wall?
Yeah, as long as you jump before half, I guess that.
Evitare como la sofresta.
Let's go to the wall. Why is the ball like big?
Evitare.
You're really like...
Does that count? I don't.
There was no... I feel like that doesn't count. Jump before half was like very simple.
Well, you said I could go to the wall.
Oh, right, fine. You know what, fine.
God, okay. Why is he moving this way? This guy
First,
Like the look of you, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's a he. I think it's a robot. I see to put that out there because if it is in this video, I'm gonna be the genius person. But if it's like I don't know, something like that, that's weird. Let's do a good old, double reset.
Alright, go ahead. Double reset.
evitare
What if I fail?
sofresta.
I'm open.
Yeah! Not a real person has to do that. Unless it's like, imagine it's like Tinkovich or something. And it's just like, I don't know. What are those little jump turns? It's so odd.
Come on, Mr. Deck. Go.
Okay.
Alright, you gotta get better than that, I guess.
That looked awfully similar to mine.
That's the point of horse? Am I not understanding?
No, like, you're... Okay. Wait, do I go first or second?
No, it's our turn. It's our turn. Mr. Redacted. Okay. So, let's say, a psycho. Would you put a bomb in a psycho?
I don't feel like an actual player would score. But if you want to give it, let's do it. Alright, just like that. You say, just redacted because we're not on the server. You are a go. The ball moves.
Evitare sofresta.
It says AI.
Yeah, it does. That's my anonymizer. I've used the Pakistan anonymizer before where like people thought me.
It says yeah, see, it's score, yeah,
Whatever. Yeah,
Oh, I wonder people that score that first try stuff. This is a robot. Okay? This is not a real person.
So people don't score psychos? I've seen many psychos. Why can't you do it the first time?
Okay. I don't even remember. What if I score this?
I would be impressed.
You would feel really silly.
I guess I would call you a bot. Is that what I would do in that situation? Because currently regular people can't score psychos?
Okay.
What you're trying to say?
Yeah. Okay, so it's H.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Redacted.
This is... Okay. My turn, yeah? Oh, I'm doing an extreme. I'm gonna do a ground bench, okay? It just needs to go in.
Okay. Alright, fine. Do it.
Alright, fine. Yeah, you're acting. I don't like this. Alright.
Run me fucking go, you fat bitch.
Okay.
No!
Okay, whatever.
No, 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 no.
want to see.
No, don't talk.
No, 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 listen, you said you're gonna run me cave first.
No, you
Nah.
fuck up. You fucking.
Stop raising G.
You're fucking useless, Hunter. You are fucking pathetic, aren't you?
What the hunter do? Every day.
You get a score? No. That's not Hunter.
Wow, what did he do? What did the hunter do, eh? Solo, what the hunter? Paul. After all, I go from Paul. Okay. I'm in the clip.